Hi, my name is Dylan, and my group did penetration testing and cryptography. So as an introduction, individuals, governments, and organizations are all using some kind of web application to share information, communicate, or complete tasks. And this is just, it kind of explains why web application security is so important because it's so prevalent in the world. Previous research has been done on risks to web application firewalls, copyright security, and even research that attempted to utilize cryptographic schemes other than RSA in web applications. However, it is important to consider where there may be flaws in the cryptographic schemes themselves, which is something we aim to focus on in this project. The Joker pen test is a framework of penetration testing that aims to automate the process of vulnerability scanning. With the Joker framework, our results will show how pen tests may or may not have value in determining how secure cryptographic methods are. So for some background, there are certain cybersecurity principles that we need to talk about. So Schneier outlines how cybersecurity and cryptography can be evaluated in several ways. So the best way to security test a product is to put it out in the real world and allow security professionals, academics, and even hackers to use the software and find flaws in the system. Although, as Schneier says, it's not easy, it's not fast, but it can be done. And that kind of outlines the need for automated penetration testing, which we'll get into in a bit. Many users will bypass security measures to make their lives easier, which is also another problem that Schneier highlights. And Yedov et al. Note how, especially in academia, a lack of visibility is often the cause of cybersecurity breaches. So in terms of automated penetration testing, Schneier kind of goes into why it's needed, and that is because penetration testing is so time-consuming and difficult. Many understand pen testing to be an attempt to hack it into a system and see how well it holds up. And while this may represent part of the goal of pen testing, it is important to note that the process requires analysis of threats and potential attackers in order to be most successful. A broad goal to hack a system is considered too vague, as previously discussed by Schneier. In addition, it is vital to note that after completing a pen test, results must not conclude that all vulnerabilities have been identified, or that a failure to find flaws means that the system is completely safe. In actuality, all that a pen test can do is identify the threats that are observable. So that may mean that there are plenty of other threats that just can't be identified at the moment. So not only does automated pen testing reduce cost and time, it eliminates the reliance on human knowledge. So cryptography and web application. So Gupta, Stabila, and Shantz recognize that the shifting cybersecurity concerns may mean that RSA will need to be modified in the future in order to maintain security. More specifically, businesses and individuals are requiring small-scale online transactions, which require security. There's also just an increased demand for high levels of security with the increased use of the internet and the web. These concerns highlighted by the researchers emphasize the need for an efficient public key encryption crypto system. Automated pen testing can contribute to this process. So the added value of our project is that it's important to the field because penetration testing, there's been ample research on other kinds of security concerns as previously noted, but there's less attention paid towards the cryptographic schemes themselves. Specifically, Joker can be used as a TLS SSL encryption checker. And although there are rather clear technical advantages to Joker and other pen testing softwares, it is still unclear if and how pen testing may be used to help address the aspects of human error in cryptography.
Hello, this is Simranjeet, and I will be presenting you my part of the project, which is called Automating Web Penetration, Testing, and Cryptography. So as Dylan has went over the slides, I will be wending over and giving you more detail about Joker and demonstration at the end. So what is Joker? Joker is a Python 3 CLI application which is aimed at helping penetration tester for network and infrastructure and web black box security test. The goal is to save as much time as possible doing network/web tests by automating as many security tests as possible in order to quickly identify low-hanging fruits, vulnerabilities, and then spend more time on more interesting and tricky stuff. It is based upon the observation that there are many hacking open source tools/scripts from various sources targeting common network service available out there that allow to perform various tasks from fingerprinting to exploitation. Therefore, the idea of Joker is to combine those open source tools in a smart way to get the most relevant results. Okay, so this is Joker framework architecture. So it has many components and many dependencies within this framework. So the way actually to install Joker, you have to have a Docker software, which is software that lets you contain a program like Joker or any other program within operating system, but isolating from the native operating system. And I will be actually demonstrating and giving you guys give you more information regarding Docker. But this is the framework, right? So this command line, the way you actually utilize and how the interaction comes with Joker is through the command line interface, which has many features. So there's a toolbox management, security testing, local database, and access. So let me go. So when you go to local database access, there's a interactive CLI, which actually do many parts of it. So it actually reports all the security testing that you're doing, and which if you want to export the report, you can actually come in an HTML report with the web screenshotter. So it's actually going to take a screenshot of what is testing and also give you detailed information in HTML report format. And now actually I will be demonstrating that as well. So the way the database is done is through the use of mission and requester. So it's actually going to code everything in a local SQLite database. As for security testing, it uses a score engine which checks setting to make sure the next process is efficient to run. So sub process, which is also connected with the tools, which is going to the sub process is going to be taking the tools itself to make a sub process, which has many components, as you can see. As for toolbox management, that has its own config file as well, which give you detailed information about what tools is included with Joker framework and what kind of service has been done, which has released an exploitation that's connected to the toolbox. Alright, so how is Joker is related to cryptography? So one way Joker is related to cryptography is Docker software is being used when using Joker. What is Docker? Docker software platform builds application based on container, small self-contained environment that are shared on an operating system kernel but otherwise run in isolation from one another. By their nature, Docker containers are secure. More security can be added by enabling one of the several applications that fit the system. In this way, Joker can be utilized efficiently and the dependencies within the framework work flawlessly. So when you actually run this program, you actually have to run it in this container that is provided by Docker. By doing that, it makes it so that everything runs efficiently and there's no problem with the memory management and everything, because the Docker software is being utilized, is isolating self-contained and isolation from the software you install. So it's not as regularly if you install the Joker natively to the operating system. Alright, so how is Joker related to automating web penetration testing? Joker framework supports many penetration testing and reports things like pen test, toolbox, network security assessment, web security testing, data centralization, and reporting. I'm going to focus on web security testing, which according to its website supports large. So I took a screenshot from the website of Joker itself, which give you about web security testing, which has a large focus on HTTP. It's more than 60 different security checks targeting HTTP supported for now. Web technology detection, server exploitation, CMS vulnerability scanning. So just by that, you can see there's like so many tools is being used this going to be actually 100 tools is used for only web test security testing itself. So there are different tools. So there are 100 tools that and 100 vulnerability and attacks that is going to be used. So by doing this, all of this is automated. So you actually have the option to make everything automated or interaction. So every time it runs a new tool, no, I'm sorry, not tool. Every time the attack has been, every time it's doing a penetration to a test website, it asks you to do that or skip that or just quit out of the in the process, or you can just so there's this flag called /fast, which will let you skip all the interaction, and I will be actually doing that to save time. Alright, so some Joker commands and security testing. So on the left side, those are the essential tools. Not essential, but those how you actually run Joker by to the Docker start. And I will be actually utilizing all of this. And I will be actually explaining this and demonstrating through my demonstration on my virtual operating system. And this is the commands in the double quotation marks. Alright, so more info and demonstration, and this is the icon of the tool. So if I click on the icon, it brings me to this website. So as you can see, this website is well formatted and give you more information regarding the Joker framework. As you can see, the web testing, network security, web security testing, data centralization, and reporting. Alright, so if I scroll down, it gives you more information regarding what it's about and what services provide. So it's automated tasks, combined pen tasks, tools, centralized mission data, and many more information regarding each kind of task. So within this, it has a pen test toolbox manager, include all of this. So as I say, it's a Docker based, right? There's also a network infrastructure security assessment, which has like lots of assessments and testing and attacks, and just penetrating the website to make sure that the servers that you're testing is fully safe from the hackers. And this is the part I took a screenshot of, and this is what I'm going to really focusing on. And there's also local database and reporting, and the part that I like the best is the reporting part, because it actually generates a full HTML report with all the information and screenshot of the website you are attacking, and it's really nice. And this is the architecture that I went over, and there's also a flow chart if you're interested in looking at it. And they also actually have a demonstration video themselves, so you can watch that, and you can actually get the Joker from GitHub or the Docker. So if I look into the GitHub, which have way more information than the website, actually it gives you the tools and stuff, right? But if you go to their readme and give you this table of contents, which you should actually go if you are interested. So if I go into their installation and tell you how to install, which is by the Docker, right? And I give you everything step by step how to do this, and actually be utilizing all this information. And there's actually many more commands than I listed in the presentation. Alright, so on to the demonstration. So I will be using Kali Linux as a virtual. Okay, now that I'm logged into the virtual machine, and I'm using Kali Linux to use Joker framework. So before I start demonstrating, I'm going to say which website I will be using to demonstrate this. So I'm going to be using hackthisite.org, which is a free, safe, and legal training ground for hackers to test and expand their ethical hacking skill with challenges. So this is an open source, and it's totally illegal to use the website as a dummy for this demonstration. Okay, now I'm going to open up a terminal to start using Joker. To start up the Joker, I need to make a Docker container. So since I have already download the Joker container within the Docker software, I'll be using this command to use Joker. So if I press enter, and it should bring me to the Joker CLI. Okay, apparently there was some sort of bug. Okay, so now that I am in its CLI, now the next part is I'm going to be showing you all the tools in the toolbox. So this is a command to see which tools are in the toolbox of Joker. If I press enter and run this command, as you can see, that was pretty fast. Let me scroll up. Now it gives you the icon of this and with the Joker. Now in this database, you can see there are many tools within this framework, and it tells you which service is utilized for the tool, and they are give you more detail about the status, the update, the date it was updated, and give you the description regarding the tool as well. And it's really helpful because it has so many tools and to penetrate and automate through, which are all of these are open source as well. Alright, so the next command is list body service. So as you can see from the service category here, there are many services. So if I actually run this command and it give you more information regarding the service they are. So there are like so many services regarding and give detail about their default and ports, and give you how many tools are associated with the service. And I will be using HTTPs, and there are actually 40 tools with 100 checks. And now that if I want to have expand this, let's just say you want to check the tools only for the HTTP. The way to actually get more information regarding which tool is being utilized under HTTP is through this command. I'm going to copy up to this. Show security checks for given servers. Now if I do this and type in HTTP and run this, as you can see there are lots of tools. There are 40 tools, but it looks like there are more than 40 tools to be honest. But they are categorized by recon, vulnerability scan, default creates, will lookup, and I also give you a description regarding a tool and tell you which tools is being used. Actually, this is okay. This is the tools, and this is I think 100 checks. Yes. So as you can see, there are 100 checks, and I believe this is 100 checks, and I'm pretty sure they are script that are only for specific purpose. So there's scan for vulnerability in CMS, Joomla, and scan for HTTP, web dev. There's like so many tools regarding it, and actually helps when you automate stuff, because when you want to test a website, you want to make sure all the necessary pen test tools are there, and this tool Joker framework helps you regarding it, and it actually brings it so it will be efficient for you to bring on to the more tricky stuff, so you can do more vulnerability tests rather than just focusing on the essential ones. Right now I'm going to do a security testing. So if I'm going to be writing this command first, then I'm going to be writing this command mission.sha.test. So if I go back to the virtual machine and type this, now I am accessing the local database. Now first I'm gonna do mission-a demo. Since I have created a demo, I'm not going to be showing this. So if I actually do this, as I already have a mission name demo, so I'm just going to access the demo. itself once I start attacking the website. So for that, I'm going to be needing this command, this python 3 joker.py attack dash t example. I'm going to replace test to demo and the example.com to the hacking this side. Oh, whoops. Okay, so I'm going to change test to demo. Hack this site to example.com to this. Just so that I can access a database, I'm going to open another tab where I actually going to run the Joker itself. Actually, before I run this, actually I should run this first just so you can see. Alright, so the reason I'm getting this error is because I'm still in the database. That's not what I want, so I'm gonna do to quit to get out of the database. Now if I retype this command, now if I run this, you see has begun. So right now it's getting a URL given target service HTTP, so it's just getting started right now. Grabbing server information with the port, with this, with an nmap. Right, so it's started grabbing and testing the website, this particular website, and getting its information. So the host IP is this. Now this can take time, right? So I have already done this before. So what I'm going to do is keep this run, but I think I want to forward the video, maybe. But I'm just going to give you the result. So yeah, so this is what you call in raptor mode. So start attack, I would say yes. So it already got the information about the about this machine and the website. So you can see that the jQuery got access. So if I press enter now, so every time every time it runs a new check, it asks you to verify. So if you say run command, I will type yes and capitalize and press enter. Now here you can see it start grabbing the data. So every time a new checks come in, it asks you if you want to do that. Since I'm gonna fast forward this, and I already have attached Joker onto this website, I'll give you the full report on this. See, there's a lot of information going on, and this total of 100 checks, and it's only 1%, and this it's going to take time. So what I'm going to do is, I think the way it's going to work is by typing a new tab. If I go back to server, it says sudo docker execute. I'm gonna be utilizing this command now. This way I can open multiple shells command inside the container. So if I open up this, paste the command here and press enter, I get a new Joker container now. I can actually access what's going on in here by typing python 3. Let me just make sure I'm getting right. .db animation demo. Now here, select the demo. Now let's just say, oh, that's not what I want to do. Let's just say, so you can, I just access the database now. I can use this commands to access all of the information. And at the end, you can generate an HTML report once it becomes 100%. Right now, if I want to check what percentage is completed, and it only completed 2%, and it's going to take time. To do that, I'm going to type in host to get the host information here. And now if I type in service, I'll look at service information. Then is services right here. What other information gather? You can get creeds. Creeds mean credentials, so that means credentials. So you can actually run all this information dynamically. So as it's getting more information and put it into the database, you can actually see more information and get more information. But since I have already tested the information here on I believe on a test mission, I'm going to quit out of this, go back to the database, but this time I'm gonna do mission test. Okay, now in the test. Now if I actually do conditional, it says no conditional because there was no condition found in that on the automation of this. But if I do service, I get more service information as long with the IP address and checks and vulnerabilities. As you can see, that's one vulnerabilities information check. So there's also a thing called products. Here you can see there's jQuery and Apache. Now let's just say I'm gonna get a report of all the information. The way you can do is just by typing in report. So when you type in that database command, it will actually start generating information regarding this. So here just taking web page screenshot HTTP and it generates the HTTP file. Nice. So would you like to open the report now? I'm going to say yes. Now that has happened, so I'm resuming this back. Okay, so I was having a problem getting the report back. So apparently whenever I tried to run the report command, I couldn't run it because it was running through a Docker and there was some sort of a bug issue. So the way I resolved it is by copying the Docker root file and extracting the report from Docker to the native OS, which is the Kali Linux I'm running. So I've made this folder which I have just ran, and this is the report that I extracted. So if I actually double click this and run this, here you can just see that the Joker report. So this is what I ran before, and on the website here where it went through the 100%. So if I click on this report, you can get more information. Here you can see all the checks they did and all the vulnerability you found here. If you go back to the index, there's a service, the host, so there was apparently 2 hosts. Now web interface, you can see I also took a screenshot of the website. Specific options, product to look up, jQuery, Apache. Conditional, so if they were happen to find some sort of username and password, they would have put it here. Vulnerabilities, so this was one of the vulnerabilities found in the hack this website. So yeah, this is about it, and this was my part of the project.